Hi, it's Mavi, and today's tutorial is coming to you a little bit late. I am on my 5th video on my 30 days of content, and today is going to be a double whammy. I am going to give you a combo of a Photoshop tutorial as well as a little bit of a marketing lesson. So I am working on my Motivational Monday posts for the month, and I like to get a little bit ahead on these. I make them for myself as well as other clients, and this is just a really good lesson if you are trying to build your reach on social media. An image can help you do that. So there are a lot of ways to get your images noticed and to use them to engage your audience. So one of the ways is to use quotes or to use a picture that maybe your audience can relate to. Some people like kitties or puppies. Anything cute is always a good idea. And you can put words on top of that, and that is a really easy thing for people to share. So if you've been putting up motivational quotes and you want to get a higher reach, a lot of time an image is the way to do that. It's so easy to share. It's easier than sharing a status post. So today I have a quote right here: the best way to get things done is to start. So this kind of follows the theme for the week. Yesterday's video was all about getting things done and making things happen. So if there is something that you've been putting off, I encourage you to start. Even if you do a little bit every day, even if you're like me and just getting it done at the wee hours of the night, get it done by starting. I am going to, of course, start with a new file. Today I'm actually using Photoshop CS4, so it's an older version of Photoshop and it's a little bit more complex than Photoshop Elements, but I'm not doing anything that you can't do with Elements. Even if you're an Elements user, you should be able to do this no problem. It's super easy. It takes 5 minutes or less. I encourage you to try this and make as many variations as you like. So I'm going to start with a new blank file, as I said, and I'm going to have the size be 2.5 inches by 3 inches. So 2.5 inches wide by 3 inches tall, and my resolution today is 300 pixels. You can definitely go smaller than that. That makes a nice size file. If you want to save room, make it smaller. That's totally up to you. And I'm going to use a transparent background. Now, this file is going to have 4 layers. The first layer is just going to be the background layer, and I'm going to fill it with a color. If you would like, you can use an image. Maybe you have an image of your product, or maybe you're promoting a business. Maybe you use oils or have a fitness challenge or yoga, and you want to put that image on the background. That is totally okay. You can use a solid background, a patterned background. Make sure you check out my pattern tutorials if you want to know how to make your own patterns, or use an image. That's totally okay, as long as you are using them with permission. I always like to say that if you're stealing an image, make sure that that's okay and that the person allows that. So I'm going to use just a general background today, a plain old background, and I'm going to use a nice pretty green. Try to replicate the other one that I did. I'm going to fill it with my paint bucket. I'm going to use my foreground color, and there's my background. I do encourage you to use images if you can, because I think that people relate to that better. For today, I'm just going to go super easy on you. So the next layer I'm going to make is not going to be my text layer. I'm going to put a layer in between my text and my background so that my words will pop. This is also really good if you have an image in the background. You always want to put something in between. So I'm going to use my rounded rectangle tool. I'm going to set the radius to be 25 pixels. The radius is how round the corners are going to be. So if you want really round corners, you want to use a higher number for the radius, and if you want sharper corners, you want to use a smaller number. So I'm going to go ahead and draw my rectangle, and I'm going to change the color from green to white. And I'm going to make sure that the opacity is pretty low. I have this set at 35. If you want to go even more transparent, bring that number down, especially if you have something in the background you want to be seen. I'm making a new layer each time. My third layer, I am going to grab my type tool, and I'm going to draw a nice big box. And when I put in the text, I always have it typed out first on a Word doc. That way I know that it's spelled correctly, because if you've ever put out a picture or something on Facebook or Twitter and it's misspelled, you're going to hear a lot about it. It just seems like you got those people that are really into grammar and correctness, and it's just a good way to avoid embarrassment. So I just type it out, copy, and paste it, and then I double check. So the best way to get things done is to start. Another fun thing that you can do is with the quotes, you can take the quotations and put them on a separate layer and make them bigger or transparent. So my last layer is going to be another type layer. I'm going to use my type tool, and I'm going to come down to the bottom, and I'm going to make this a lot smaller. And this is where I'm going to put my Facebook page or profile. The reason why I'm doing this is because if somebody shares this, I want people to know where it came from. I obviously want people to share my stuff. That's how I get more viewers. That's how I get more leads. So make sure you stick either your website or your social media profile on there. Have a way for people to connect back with you. That's really important. It also prevents people from stealing and sharing your stuff if you put a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and take the opacity of that down a little bit. So it kind of looks like a watermark. It's not the most important thing, it's just part of it. If you have a logo, throw that on there. If you have a website, throw that on there. Don't make it over the top, but it's a good way to brand yourself. So there we have it. It's really super easy. It's a good thing to do. I encourage you to do a Motivational Monday. Start doing that. People will start looking for it. Put your hashtags in and let your stuff get shared and interact with your people. If you really want to have some interaction, ask a question when you post it. Say, hey, what is it that you are waiting to get started? I encourage you to get things done. If you enjoyed this, please comment. Please let me know, and maybe even post some motivational quotes that I can use, because I am always looking for really good stuff. I have tons of books. I'm always looking on the internet, and I use these all the time. So if you want to help me out, throw some into the comment box and I'll use them. Have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, and I hope that you'll be back for more tomorrow.